work for it. You got the touch.
Magic touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Sir Worldwide. Here with these two lovely ladies, Sweet Angel, Madeline, and Sweet Tori. Okay, so they want to talk to you guys about something that you need to understand a little bit more about. Okay, take it away.
He wanted to talk about our pet peeves. So you want me to just say the first one that came to my mind?
Sure.
Yeah. When you send a message to somebody on Facebook and they read it and they don't reply, they just blow you off. That is a huge pet peeve for me, because I'm like, if I go out of my way, I'm a busy person, you know, I got a lot going on in my life. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
It's like when I take the effort to write somebody, especially if it's related to my angel project or something, and like they read it and then I never hear from them, I'm like, okay, that's rude. And you almost want to unfriend people, but then you're like, well, if I unfriend them, that's gonna like cause a rift, you know, like.
You know, I see a lot of people doing that through my work. I talk to a lot of people, a lot of middle-level management people. You know, they're supposed to be professional, but they don't respond to their text message, they don't respond calls, and they will tell you like, yeah, I want to do this. Later on, there's like nothing, no communications. I think that is such a issue. You know, not just like Facebook, you know, also like in the family, you know, we're gonna communicate to know how to like, how to work well together. So yeah, I agree with you. I see a lot of people like that.
That just made me think of my second one that has been on my mind a lot, is to try to keep your word to people. Like, try to actually do what you say you're gonna do. Make your actions match what you tell people. So, for instance, I told Sir Worldwide I was going to prepare all my topics for my ideas to help the homeless population and present it. And so I had to keep my word and take that time, and I prepared it in a document and I printed it out and I brought it today. That's just an example of how I did what I said I was going to do. And so when a lot of people don't do that, you know, it's almost like you lose respect for a person, especially if you said it's someone who's in a management or upper level position, and you know, they tell you I'm gonna do this and then they never do it. It makes you wonder about their characters. I don't know what the right word is, you know, but it's like you don't take their word as valuable as much as before.
Definitely lose your trust.
Yeah.
I just call him a BS artist. Give him a moniker.
Well, I mean, some people can definitely be forgiven for some stuff, you know, but I mean, if it's in like a direct thing, like let's say I'm gonna call you tomorrow and then, you know, a year goes by and you never hear from the person, you know, that's kind of a big deal, you know, so I don't know.
Okay, so I know that there is a pet peeve that all females have, okay?
Okay.
And that is the way certain guys treat you guys, okay? So can you elaborate? I think you know what I'm talking about. You can talk about the guys. I may defend them a little bit, but I may not say nothing. I may just go along with the program because I'm a gentleman. So take it away.
I don't like guys just come to me, kind of like, hey baby, you know, look at her, let's have sex. That's very disrespectful.
They actually say that?
Some people do.
Wow. They
are very disrespectful, and they're like, they say some weird stuff.
You think some women would like that?
I don't know, but I don't think so.
Well, why would they try it?
I mean, like, if you say, hey, you look very pretty, just want to let you know, I'll be appreciative. You know, say, oh, thank you so much, I feel great. But just be like, hey, you know, let's do it. I was like, no. Like, what would make you think I would do that? You know, it's disrespectful.
Well, you know, I came to a lady one time. I was just trying to be funny, but it led to something fruitful. I just saw the lady, I'm walking down the street, she was like all that, you know. So I caught up with her, I'm right beside her, I said, you know what? You need a bodyguard. Look at me, she smiled. I said, yeah, I'm serious, you know, I'm volunteering for free. And we became friends, you know, but I didn't say, hey, let's have sex. I said, you need a bodyguard.
No, you can be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like...
Yeah, you gotta respect women, guys. You gotta respect all women, okay? So you got a mother, you had one.
Exactly.
So start with that. And you want to treat all women like you treat your mother, okay? You want to respect your mother.
Not all men are good with their moms.
Well, that's sad.
And that's a sign for women. You got to see how a man treats his mom and his sisters and other women, because that could be insight to how he's going to treat you.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of mom, my mom just had a birthday on the 1st of this month, and I took her to San Diego. She had a good time, went to the casino. Yeah.
I sent a flower to China and Japan for Mother's Day. Not just for my mom, also my grandma and my auntie. So everyone's like, oh, that's so sweet, you know. It's like a small gift, but it shows, you know, shows how the connection is, the loving is.
Okay. So some more, again, advice for the young women who these guys are coming at. You got any advice for these young girls? They need to hear it, because who's helping these young women?
Just tell them.
I'll help the guys.
My advice is listen to your gut instinct. On men, you have to be careful who you interact with, but you know, that can go for guys too. You just have to observe a person's behavior. How do they look? Even the clothes they wear will project, you know, about their soul, who they are, their personality. For example, there was a girl once, I saw her necklace, it said bitch on it, right? Right on her chest, you know. What does that give you insight to her personality, right? So just a clue, an example is to stuff to keep in mind, right? Who you interact your energies with, who you give your body to. You know, be careful who you have sex with. And you know, I would recommend condoms all the time, you know, and unless a man puts a ring on your finger and he says he's gonna commit, you should use condoms all the time.
I also recommend everyone, don't let the emotion control you. Be logical. You know, you're gonna balance your emotion and logical well. So sometimes when you get angry, just don't throw your phone to the window.
Yeah, that's a negative emotion.
It is very negative emotion. When you get angry, like calm down, you know, drink some water, go for a walk, come back, then have a nice talk. You know, like same with a guy, just a nice guy there, just be like, oh, he's hot. You're gonna be like, he's good, nice looking guy, but is he a right person for me? You know, get to know each other, be logical, be well balanced, your emotion and logic.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
All right, so subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like this, please. Like it. Subscribe.